about the Narendra Modi Gujarat model. Why has this model not been implemented across the country? He's the Prime Minister now, not the Chief Minister.
No, we are trying to do that, and you are aware that agriculture is primarily a state subject, and it has to be delivered at the state level. Central government, of course, pushes. We have invested close to 50,000 crore rupees just for creating irrigation network, adding to the irrigation network that exists. You see, we are trying to give solution. When we implemented the Swaminathan committee report, which was lying in dust, the report came much back when the UP was in power. But there's no game. There's no blame game. We implemented that, and we have tried to ensure that now they get 150%, which is at least 50% of what they have invested in that, and we are trying to do that. There is a government guarantee to that. That is about that. And now coming to the overall solution which you are talking about, if you are talking of soil health, that definitely means that which better crop to grow in the soil, the farmers should know. That is why you have soil health card. You have e-mandis. We have tried to bring down the role of Adatiyas, the middleman, because of which the prices go up. Why we have tried to create a rural road just for that, so that they can link to the e-mandis, they can link to the market. And e-mandis is there now. Mandis are being strengthened, e-mandis are being created, and a lot of transactions.
That is the argument where you're being.
Distress will
the argument.
The distress,
which is the dispute.
The distress will take time to go. We are trying to provide solution. We are giving them subsidized urea. We are
Aman Pawar, the reality is Congress or BJP. Yes, Sanket Sudesh Verma and Mr. Aman Pawar. Mr. Aman Pawar, let me ask you a question. See, the problem is,
loan waivers
very quickly. Okay, Mr. Aman Pawar, crop insurance covering all possible reasons of crop failure, has it completely happened? The answer is no. Infrastructure, building of warehouses and storage facilities where the damage is contained, has it completely happened? No. Power, water access completely happened? No. Incentivizing of farmers who rotate crops, I don't think has been fully implemented, and access to markets. These are the basics that need to be done. You also have governments in various states, right? Your party has been in power for the longest time. Now, obviously, farmer distress is not something which is unique only post 2014.
Yes, Sanket, I'm glad that
Why have these problems not been addressed?
I'm glad that you have asked very pointed questions. Let me reply to you with regards to farmers' insurance.
Please do.
The Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana that was launched by the Modi government, the statistics as released by the government says that 14,288 crore rupees were paid to private insurance companies. And how much did the farmers get? Only 5,600 crore rupees as the the cover up for the insurance. How much was the profit of the private companies? More than 9,500 crores. This is how they cheated. Secondly, let me tell you what was the promise of the Modi government when they, before 2014 elections, that we will give you twice the cost of the produce, that is twice the MSP. What formula did they apply? The A2F2 formula instead of the C2 formula, which resulted in what? What resulted that the 9% growth of farmers in the farming sector, which was there under the UPA government, declined to 7%. So obviously, as I said in my opening remarks, that farm loan waiver cannot be a permanent solution, but it is the need of the hour in terms of the farmers' suicide which is happening, because the focus of this government is to waive off corporate liability, then give relief to the farmers. You saw such a huge rally by farmers was there in Delhi just about a month back, but the government turned a complete blind eye. From all parts of the country, the farmers were there.
That's the
from
point.
Tamil Nadu, from Punjab. Why did the government not pay any heed to them?
Why did the government not make a point like this? I will have to come in.
Of course,
no,
don't lie.
Sanket, the thing is,
don't lie.
No political.
The Prime Minister talks about
I
money.
request the political panelists.
Don't lie.
Political panelists, please don't politicize. We are talking solutions here. My point is, the moment you go into farmer distress, it is not something which is unique to the BJP. It has existed all the time. You have had farmer rallies and farmer protests even in the UPA regime.
See, obviously, so we paid heed to them. We opened our doors to them. Here, the government is not even ready to listen. In Mandsaur, when the farmers were protesting, the Shivraj Chauhan government answered with bullets. How many of them were killed? Why don't you come across as a government which can at least pay
Papa Rao and Dr. Sumant
some heed to their demands?
One moment. So we have seen political interventions now, Papa Rao as well as Dr. Sumant
No farmer was killed. You are
Papa
wrong.
Rao, I'll begin with you.
It was the Congress school that were creating problem there. Congress goons may create
Dr.
problems
Sudesh
there.
Verma, the
For
moment we
farmers
go
are
down
not
this road,
Congress goons,
the
sir.
moment
Farmers
we
are
go
not
down
Congress
this road,
goons.
we will not be able to talk
Congress
solutions.
goons
That is
may
why
create
I want
problems.
to limit this to only
Farmers
solutions.
never do the kind
Please,
of things that
Dr.
happen there
Sudesh
in
Verma
Mandsaur.
as well as Aman Pawar, we have heard this rhetoric enough. That is why we are choosing to move ahead in terms of our discussion. Papa Rao, the last time you had come on this show, you spoke about the policy deficit, that our policies are pro-urban, whereas the problems are pro-rural. And that is where the problem is. Would you like to please tell all our panelists over here that point that you were making? Because I saw great merit, Mr. Pawar, Nanditesh and Dr. Suman. You must listen to the point that he said. Dr. Syed Abbas and Dr. Verma, please, you also listen. Papa Rao, what was that point?
What the agricultural crisis or the agricultural distress needs is a solution that is rural, that is in the kind of the Swaminathan Committee report and its recommendations. But the reforms we are implementing in this country, whatever reforms we are implementing in this country since 1990 or 91, they are more pro-urban, because they are pro-urban in the sense the equation between the villages and the urban areas is not in favor of the villages, but totally in favor of the urban areas, in the sense that the rural...
Could you give an example?
Yeah, I will give you, because prices...
Papa Rao, example.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Because if the minimum support price in the rural areas is really provided to the agriculturalists, what happens is that the prices of the rural agricultural products will rise, and automatically urban prices, whatever prices are there of the commodities and the essential items will rise, food items will rise. Then that is what the pro-urban reforms doesn't want. They want urban prices to be low for the middle classes and in the benefit of the corporate sector, because then only the wages in the urban area could be low and the corporate sector could benefit out of the cost of lesser cost of labor, because they could give lower wages to the employees and the laborers, because the cost of living is less. They want to keep the cost of living low. Thus, they want to keep the rural areas suffering and starving.
No, I'm saying, see, Papa Rao, your claim could then be challenged on the basis of feasibility. But I get the argument. I found this argument that you placed the first time we debated very, very interesting. Yes, quickly, one more point.
He wants to make one more point.
One more point.
The output cost will be more.
Please,
but that has to be ascertained that this government is the first government in the history of this country which has imposed GST on farming products, on tires, on tractors, and just look at the cost of diesel and petrol.
He wants to make
they are
one more
directly
point.
affecting the farmers.
One more point and then you can...
No, I'm not saying anything about Congress. Forget it.
Your
I'm not
second
saying
point,
you are
please.
reacting as if I am saying about Congress. I am not saying anything about it. It is a general problem.
No,
that is
I
happening.
agree with your views. I agree with your views.
Yeah, please. Then
Papa
give
Rao,
me
your
time.
second
I
point,
want to
please.
put another point down there. Because if the agriculture is profitable, people won't leave agriculture and come to the urban areas. That is another problem there for the reforms. Because if the rural migration is not there, the demand for labor in the urban areas will be very high, because the supply is low and the labor cost will be high for the industrialists. That is why they want the labor migration continuously into the urban areas.